It's been a long summer, guys. Welcome to the Renegade Report with Kitty Calvin. And today, we're going to do things a little bit different. We usually start with recaps, but I had an amazing summer. Such an amazing opportunity to do some of the things we did. So before we get into a whole bunch of what's coming for the Renegades, we want to welcome our special guest, NFL dad, Centennial High football coach, and all-around legend, Don Kessler.
Thanks, Ken. I appreciate it. Yeah, I really do. Appreciate you having me on.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Yeah, busy, man. Busy time of the year for everything. You know, being the trainer, equipment manager there at Centennial, chasing one kid around, got another kid in college, you know, flying around. Hey, got a lot of miles, though, on my
racking up the air miles?
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Yep. Well, we had a chance to come together this summer. We did some great things. You're always doing great things, and that's how we kind of brought ourselves together. We did the Kids and Cleats Drive. You guys were our first sponsor. You know, you brought us up to like 100 pair of cleats.
Yeah.
That helped us get, you know, some players that didn't have shoes to participate in sports. We started with football, but we ended up transitioning into giving baseball cleats away.
Yeah, I saw that.
Some basketball shoes. But what else been going on with you this summer, Don?
Yeah, just like I said, just staying busy. Practice started in June. Every day going. You know, dealing with the heat has been throwing us off a little bit more than last year with all the hot days. Other than that, just, you know, trying to get the kids ready. Numbers are good at our school, and just trying to get those kids ready, keeping them healthy. Luckily, we've been pretty good. No major injuries, and everybody looks great. We're a young team, but you know, everybody has bought in, and we look to have a good season this year, I hope.
Speaking of the numbers and the team, I know you say you guys got Golden Valley tomorrow.
Right.
I know they're struggling a bit, you know, with enrollment and getting consistency from coaching staff, but none of that matters when you're going into preparation for you guys, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, Chad and the staff, they you know, you prepare for every team like it's, you know, your last game. You have to go that way. Can't look at records. It's Friday night football, for crying out loud. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're up, down, what you are. They come to play. And you got to come to play every Friday night for sure.
Absolutely, and that's why I brought that up, because everybody assumes that they're just going to roll over, but they have something to prove. You know, every year coming in as a school that, you know, competed a little bit better than people expected them to in the last couple years, but then going through coaching changes. But for you guys, and this is what's funny about having you on, Don. I'm a driller, of course.
Sure.
You know, we've had that team friction.
Of course.
But my wife's a Centennial grad.
Okay.
You know, and we always tease each other. So I told her I'm going to make it up to her and have my first guest be one of the legends from Centennial. You know, so.
Well, no, I appreciate it. Now, you know, that's the thing. And, you know, it doesn't matter what school you go to. For, you know, I graduated from North, and it's kind of neat. We played North last week and hadn't been on that field, me personally, until I think it was Cody's sophomore year. Wow. We had Frontier over there, played Frontier over there because they didn't have a field at the time. But it was kind of cool walking those sidelines. That's where I broke in '87 coaching and worked my way up. But that was really cool for me. Kind of kept it inside, but I did let my players know, hey, this is my stomping grounds, you know, and these guys come to play every week, you know, and that's the thing. It doesn't matter what side the tracks you're on, what side of the school you're at. Everybody comes to play on Friday nights. It's, you know, it is what it is.
Amazing thing. I can flash back to our battles with North High when Coach O'Brien was head coach, and, you know, having that rivalry and all the cultural stuff go on, but then getting to BC, and that's what we're taking this to. Going up to BC, you have all these guys that you competed against for the last 4 years wanting to tear each other apart, and now it's all about the common goal, you know, to win together. So.
Yeah, especially if you're on the same side. Now, if you were an offensive guy and you're playing defense, now you're with those defensive guys you didn't like as an offensive player, so now you're buddies with them. But, you know, it's funny talking BHS. I ran in, I think it was a couple years ago, Everett Sutton.
Oh, man.
I'm going to tell you right now, that guy could light it up on a football field now. And Everett was working at Hall Ambulance, and it was like we didn't miss a beat, you know. He gives me a handshake, we get a hug. But that's Bakersfield, you know, and we played against each other. And it didn't matter, you know. He put some shots on me, and I caught some passes in front of him. But you know, I've been out of school almost 35 years.
Wow.
And you know, Everett, it was pretty funny. But you know, just little things like that, you know.
But I'm glad you brought that up as well, because we're a football community.
100%.
You know, I love all our sports. I was a 6-sport guy in high school. but this is a football city.
Yeah.
And this is what keeps us together during this time of year. There's been a lot of things going on. We've lost a Renegade player. One of my former players passed away this year, had a seizure, Randy Turner. And just to see all of the teams that he played for and the teammates come together to build that bond of brotherhood through the game.
For sure.
Helped us heal through that moment, man.
Yeah.
So just having the opportunity to share that with you guys. It doesn't matter where we play. This is a football community. We use the game to build each other up and lift spirits. And that's what we're doing today. And that's why I'm glad I got Don here. So, Don, I know you do 1,000 things like I do. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on.
For sure.
Because, you're an equipment manager for Centennial. You own your own solar panel cleaning business. You're a dad that has to support your son who's in the middle of his career in the transition to being part of a better organization from a standpoint of competing at the highest level. So how's it been to watch Cody go through that transition?
Yeah, honestly, first of all, the support from Bakersfield for our athletes and wherever they're at, I can't thank you enough for supporting, hitting me up when he was at Cleveland. So he's at Cleveland, and it was just one of those things going through as a dad, seeing it wouldn't matter what he was playing, but to not be given an equal chance when the coach looks at you and says, look, this is going to be a competition. Now, Cody knew his first year that, RG3 was there and Josh McCown were there. He knew he was what his place was. 3 games in, he's the starter.
Yes.
Does well, doesn't win a game, but he should have beat my Dolphins. I've been a Dolphin fan forever.
That.
We missed 3 field goals. So he played well enough on a really bad team that first year in our eyes and in people's eyes. And we had, just a lot of things go on. So he comes back the next year, and we're feeling that he is the guy that has to be beat out. He played well enough. Did he win a game? He did not, but he played well enough to win games. He didn't have Corey Coleman. He didn't have Josh Gordon. He didn't have our tight end. What I'm saying is it didn't matter to him. They played, and he did well. Comes back, and things went south. And don't know why. Have no clue. The Coach Jackson didn't come to Cody and go, hey, you're not our guy. We don't like what you did. It was just one of those things that just didn't work out. And he never gave Cody a chance in the preseason. He never.
I saw that.
It wasn't boo-hoo for my son. He's a professional, and that's all he wanted to be treated as a professional. And it doesn't matter what you do in your job or whatever. Come straight at you, tell you you're not the guy. I don't like you. I'm going to trade you. He would rather hear that than be treated the way he was treated.
I definitely get it.
All my friends are asking me, hey, what's going on? I don't even have an answer. My son doesn't have an answer.
What's frustrating for me, Don, I got to tell you, I keep up with all our talent guys,
absolutely.
right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I got, former teammates that are coaches in the league. And,
right.
I've had teammates who played for Coach Jackson. And when this is happening, I'm like, what's going on, guys? Cody's performing at a high level. Your offensive line is terrible. Your defense is playing like trash. You can't always place that on the quarterback and think changing the quarterback out is going to help the system. But long story short,
yeah, it is what it is.
The gift and the curse. Yeah. It happens to work out for him.
Yeah.
He's traded into a situation where you're on a team that's going to compete at a high level.
Absolutely.
10 times better weather.
Yes. Oh, let's go.
10 times better defense. And one of my favorite corners in the game, Jalen Ramsey.
Ramsey's off the chain.
I'm a Florida State fan.
Right.
Grew up there, grew up wanting to be a Seminole.
Sure.
Being a Deion fan. But the high level impact play that he's going to be part of is going to re-amplify his zest for the game.
And I'm glad you said that, because at a point when you try to only stay up as best you can, there's a point you can only get punched in the face so many times. And pretty soon, you get punched and you're, and you talk about, I tell friends and people that, it's like that huge shot of vitamin B that, you get when you go. Now you're rejuvenated. You're loving the game again.
Absolutely.
He's young, and he proved that he could play at that level on a really bad team. I think one of the coolest things him telling me is sitting with the legendary coach, Tom Coughlin, and Tom Coughlin telling Cody, look, we looked at several other quarterbacks. We as a staff brought you in here. It wasn't just me or just them, and we brought you in to compete at this place.
Gotta love it. I love Coach Coughlin as well.
Yes.
I watched the game a couple weeks ago, 14-17, great pocket presence. You could tell where he was feeling better as a player.
Yep, comfortable.
You guys were there live.
Yes. Yeah.
I watched it at 2 a.m. I stayed up for an hour and a half just so I could catch it.
Right.
Because I wanted to see how he functioned in an offense that was more supportive.
Sure.
But we're gonna lead with this. Don, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I've known you for years.
Yep.
I was a fly on the wall at Leaders in Life conferences when you're speaking to kids, and I got 40 kids. I'm a social worker as well. We got 40 clients in there.
Absolutely.
Watching you eyes wide open. We had Cam Roberson on that same panel that you had.
Right.
That year.
Yes.
And realizing that we were cousins made this special bonding experience. I want to thank you for everything you do for the community.
I appreciate it.
And this is just the beginning of us passing this energy back and forth, So Don, anything you want to say to the world before we go to break?
Last thing I want to say, I tell you what I'd really like to see, and all of Bakersfield. I remember back in the 80s and 90s when we'd get 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 people at a BC game. I'm telling you, it goes a long way when you support these kids. Get back in there. Let's get back up there on Saturdays. I love watching BC games. And let's support this program. When my grandparents went, there'd be 15,000, 16,000 people there. But, let's get back and support these guys, support the school. And, like I said, I love Bakersfield. Thanks for all your support for my family, all the other pro athletes around here. And I appreciate you having me on, Ken. Thank you so much.
Hey,
Todd Hansen as well.
What better way to end it? Don Kessler, the legend, the community icon. This is the Renegade Report. We'll be back with men's soccer right after the break.
Renegade fans, be sure to catch your 2018 Renegade football team as they take to the field this season. Don't miss any of the action as El Camino, Santa Monica, Orange Coast, East LA, and Moore Park will all visit Memorial Stadium to square off against your Renegades. Season tickets range from $25 to $60 and can be purchased by visiting validtix.com or calling 1-888-825-5484. Go Gage!